Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lookout. This is live fire reporting for the fires in Southern California. If you're just joining us for the first time, the Lookout channel covers wildland fire, forestry, land management. We're based in Chico, California, and my name's Zeke Lunder. I've been making maps of fires for about 30 years. I got into fire mapping in the late 90s, right when they were starting to do digital mapping on forest fires in the fire camps, and started a company to do this work. And so I've been working on most of the big fires in California since about 2000. And this is a pretty big one. So here we go. Look out. You'll find maps here that you won't find anywhere else, just because we know where to look for the info. This is all public source information. We just kind of assemble intel from webcams and satellites and from the agencies. So let's talk about the big picture here in SoCal. So this is a map of the Palisades Fire. This is showing heat satellites from 2 in the morning, and then the purple is kind of my guess at where the fire is right now based on the webcams. So basically the fire is burned from about San Vicente Boulevard in Santa Monica all the way to Malibu. It appears to be all the way down to the ocean, all the way through there. We really don't have, they haven't been flying yet this morning for a detailed perimeter, so this is as good as we can do right now. As we kind of expected in yesterday's broadcast, the fire did burn all the way to the Franklin Fire. So here's the Franklin Fire in red that burned earlier this year around Malibu. And so as far as we can tell, this fire has burned up to that, but hasn't necessarily moved into Malibu. And so with any luck at all, that fire and the fire lines that were prepped for it around Malibu will keep the fire from spreading into Malibu proper. However, it's likely the fire is going to go over the top of the mountains here in Malibu into Montanito. The north end of the fire is likely going to be burning out into Topanga today. Down here, we don't have detailed information, but as far as we can tell from the heat satellites, the fire is all the way down through Rustic Canyon. And on the, so looking up here kind of from Santa Monica up the coast, as far as we can tell from the heat satellites also, and also from some webcams, the fire's kind of burned here into Riviera and up towards kind of the West Ridge trailhead. The top end of the fire here, we're just guessing based on views from some of the different ridgetop webcams here. So for reference, here's the 405 and the Getty out here. And the fire, it hasn't, it started around here, up kind of below the summit. And it's had the strong winds coming out of this direction, so that's why it's made its big run this way. So the fire's kind of been backing into the winds. It's had to fight the winds to burn towards the 405. And so with any luck at all, the winds are projected to continue to come from the northeast. So what happens with fires like this is they're driven by the wind, but if the wind slacks, fire likes to go uphill. And so it isn't just all going downwind. When the wind's slack, the fire still wants to burn to the top of the canyon. And what's particularly dangerous during big Santa Ana winds is that usually we get the winds coming out of the northeast strong, and then when the Santa Ana begins to break down, then we get our normal onshore flow. And so the one of the big problems here is just going to be the fires spreading up the mountains. So that's what we know right now about the Palisades Fire. We're going to jump over and look at the other big fire, which is the Eaton Fire. We were watching this one last night, and last night the only real data we had was just that the fire was kind of right here at the base of the mountains, and we can kind of see on the webcams it was running. It was kind of in the leeward side of this mountain, so it wasn't necessarily getting the strongest Santa Ana winds. But by 2 a.m., it had grown to about 10,000 acres, and it had also burned down here into Altadena and portions of the Kinaloa Mesa. So this mapping is really rough, and it's just based on these satellite squares, which we know from our experience are not super accurate, but it's the best thing we've got right now in the morning until it's flown. And then the purple area is basically what I'm guessing based on kind of the topography and the webcams. So down here, just to kind of come in a little closer, we got fires down in this kind of triangle between the Altadena Golf Course and Lake Avenue, kind of bounded on the south by New York Drive. And then over here, it looked like most of the Kinaloa Mesa did have fire on it last night. These squares are from 2 a.m. down to about Sierra Madre Boulevard. Eaton Golf Course and up to about West Algeria Avenue. Yeah, so the purple is the burned. Got the Mount Wilson trailhead here for reference, and we're going to have more detailed maps on the lookout.org. So if you want to see a detailed map, come and check out. This is the lookout, and we'll have. I'm just now writing this morning's report, but the lookout is the place to go to see our detailed intel. Shout out to our sponsor QTAC here in Chico. They make fire equipment, and they're sponsoring this program. So that's about all we have this morning. Check the lookout for our summary of our intel. We'll show a couple webcams here, and then try to keep it simple. There's another fire up here by Santa Clarita that had burned last night about 1,000 acres by 2 a.m. And that was still kind of confined by the 210 and the 5. And we haven't got a lot of intel on that. What we do know is just that firefighters are pretty much seriously overwhelmed by the scale of this, and this is what happens during Santa Ana winds. It's not uncommon for resources to be severely drawn down and for water to run out and all that, because these fires are the blowtorch of nature. Let's just look at some webcams here. This is the Wilshire webcam. We'll just look at kind of the overnight. This is 12 hours of spread on the south end of the fire, southeast end of the fire, as the fire is burning kind of in the down towards San Vicente. These webcams are a great resource if you can kind of feel your way through the geography. There's a lot of them, and it's kind of confusing. But what we're doing is we're using those cameras to figure out kind of basic layout of where things are on the ridges until we get better intel. But it looks like their website's not working so well right now. Some retardant on the cameras. This is Temescal trailhead. So here we're looking at kind of within the heart of the fire. So the fire did spread up kind of, yesterday it hadn't moved through the summit area. And just because the area shows up inside my mapping doesn't mean it's all destroyed. This is just our guess of the kind of the outline of the fire. So like I said, we'll have kind of more detailed screenshots on the lookout, and 20,000 acre estimate on Palisades Fire, 10,000 acre estimate on Eaton. Last night it was too windy for planes to be flying or helicopters. Looks like maybe they're mapping the fire right now. And that's about it. All right, so in summary, the winds are continuing through today. They're supposed to slack off a bit this afternoon, but they're going to be strongest between now and this afternoon for this particular part of the storm. Tomorrow the gusts are supposed to come down. It's still going to be strong winds, but the gusts will be about 30 miles an hour versus 60 today. 20,000 acres on the Palisades Fire from Rustic Canyon all the way to Malibu. And 10,000 acres over here in Pasadena. Still really dangerous situation for the rest of the day. And new fires are always a threat with these strong winds. So good luck if you're out there and don't know what's happening with your house. We'll do another broadcast as we have better intel, but right now this is the best we've got. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the Lookout. Please check out the website, and if you like what you see there, we're user supported, so feel free to make a donation or become a subscriber. Good luck, everyone.